Hey, Coach, want to ask you about App State, in particular, just their skill guys on offense. Seems like they have a talented bunch at receiver and running back, and just wanted to get your thoughts on the challenge they pose.
Yeah, they're very talented, and they return a truckload of production. Um, they have receivers that played in the 16 game, which just shows you how long they've been there. Um, Both backs, I think App State has the longest streak, I think, in the nation of 1,000-yard rushers, having a 1,000-yard rusher every year. Um, and they've got a very experienced quarterback. This is a very good offensive football team.
Hey, Manny, how you doing?
Good, Kobe. How are you?
Doing solid. Appreciate you asking. Wanted to ask about two things, really. One, some housekeeping stuff. Any injuries going into Saturday that, you haven't already discussed maybe as last week? I know Harley, Likens told us yesterday that he should be good, but everybody else good?
I think we should be as we were a week ago. Yeah, I can't think of anybody being out.
Awesome. And then my question that I want to ask was, obviously you had the whole offseason prepared for Alabama. Everybody gets hyped up, number one team in the nation. How do you make sure the guys bring that same focus into a game against, App State that, guys can easily lose that focus, lose that sharpness?
Well, because the way we treated Alabama, and we said it many times before, is that it was about us and it was about our performance. And that's why even in the aftermath, like I said, playing a team like Alabama, if we can't win the third downs and win the explosive battle and false start on offense, making other things, a team like Alabama is going to expose you the way that they did. But that still comes back to our performance. So as we prepared for Alabama, and we said, it's about us playing our best. The preparation for App State, it doesn't change. It's really the same message.
Hey, Manny, kind of off topic a little bit, but, Frank Ponce, Miami guy, Hispanic coach, just like you. Just curious, you guys, I know have had battles in the past. Just curious, is there a friendship there? How well do you guys really know each other?
Yeah, we know each other for a while. I do consider Frank a friend. He's a really good football coach. It's really cool that he got his opportunity to be an offense coordinator. It's well-deserved. And I thought he did a really nice job in the opener against East Carolina. So I know it'll be special for him to come back here to Miami, but I would imagine once the game begins, the game is the game.
And I'm just curious at all, the friendship. There's not a whole lot of Hispanic coaches. Obviously, you have the Cuban roots. Just curious how often, maybe you guys run into other Hispanic coaches or there are conversations like that are had. It's
rare. A little bit more out west, so sometimes at the convention you will run into some guys. But yeah, it's a cool thing to see though. And I think it'll be something as time goes on, I think it'll be less and less rare.
Thank you.
Hey, Manny, you talked obviously after the game on Saturday about, the young guys, not just obviously the couple of freshmen who got in, but, like Restrepo and Keyshawn really, and their first real opportunities kind of showing up and having good games. When you're kind of evaluating young guys, obviously, most in the preseason, obviously all you have is practice and stuff like that to go off of. But once these guys start getting opportunities in games and you're trying to kind of sort out playing time, how does, especially with the young guys who are going to maybe make mistakes and stuff like that, how does that kind of evaluation happen, knowing you want to see them play well in practice, but obviously you got to give games a lot of weight too? Is there a balance to that?
Yeah, and I think if I understand what you're asking is, do you value what happens in games more so than practice? And I think what would be true the vast majority of the time is the two are mirrored. It's very rare that people just play better in games than they do in practice. Now, what you can see is, and I think here's the part, there can be guys that can flash on a highlight play, but then seven out of their 8 plays, they don't play well. And that's kind of the danger. I'm not talking about those two guys. Those guys have performed consistently in practice. They've gotten better in terms of knowing what to do and how to do it. And I think I said after the game on Saturday, I wasn't surprised when the ball was in the air that Xavier was going to come down with it, because I saw it every time we scrimmaged. And same thing with Keyshawn and all the other young guys. So I think you're trying, to me, usually the pyramid is guys stop busting in practice, because they stop thinking about what to do. They just know what to do. Then the next part is knowing how to do it, where I'm not thinking about how to run a route or how to play this block. I just instinctively know how to do it. And you're forming habits. And that's what the young guys normally have the hardest time doing, is forming habits. All of our guys are talented. And all of our guys, a talented guy can make a play. But a player is really defined by how few mistakes that they can make, because mistakes get you beat in a game, as we found out a week ago.
Okay, Manny, Andy Borgalis from what you know now, how is he similar or different from Jose as far as his kicking style, his game, his attitude, his personality, how he prepares? Just a little bit about him. He came through, obviously.
They are different, but there are some things that are, not only are they similar, but they're very unique for kickers. They have, you know, they've got something about them a little bit different than guys that you normally see. They're not just people who are talented at kicking in football, and a lot of kickers are people who have a talent kicking the ball. These guys are competitors, and you know, I remember telling you all the story in the springtime when Andy came, and his really first competitive field goal was at Hard Rock, and it was a 1 minute drill, and he had missed the day before, and he banged it in there, and that kind of, I had that thought when we were watching him line up the first time against Alabama to kick. There's something special about those guys. Now, again, I'm not trying to, you know, crown him. He's 2 for 2 in his career, you know, and I'm sure there'll be ups and downs ahead, but they are fun guys to be around. Come from a great family, and we're lucky to have them.
Coach, it's the first time in almost 2 years that you'll be in front of a full capacity crowd at Hard Rock Stadium. How excited are you to see the fans back in attendance?
I think everybody's really excited. You know, it's been a long time coming to see, you know, our stadium the way we remember it. You know, get the fans in there and get some home field advantage. I mean, you know what I mean? And just get our guys a little boost for our guys. You know, I think our guys have got a little bit of edge about them this week, which they ought to. And we need a great fan base to support our guys on, cheer. Got a lot of special guys that came back for this reason. A lot of guys mentioned when they wanted to come back a year ago, they wanted to come back and they wanted to play in Hard Rock Stadium in front of our fans. And so the opportunity to see, you know, Derek and Mike Harley and, you know, a lot of those super seniors that made that choice to return, Bubba Bolden, you know, really want to show them what a lot of those guys haven't really seen. You know, Derek, he's never really seen Hard Rock at a true Miami home game. And so, you know, hopefully running out of the smoke will be as special as we all remember it. And we can put on a great performance in front of our fans.